Hello everyone, I am Rex Angelo El Moro. For this video, I'll be discussing 5 topics in politics and governance in Southeast Asia. The first one is the ethnic conflict and national identity. Ethnic diversity is a defining feature of many Southeast Asian countries, often leading to conflict that shape the national politics. For example, Malaysia political landscape is heavily influenced by the ethnic composition, primarily Malay, Chinese, and Indian population, resulting in the policies that favor the Malay majority through affirmative action programs. The second topic I'll be discussing is the cultural stereotypes in Southeast Asia. The cultural stereotypes regarding Southeast Asia have evolved significantly over time, influenced by a historical interaction, colonialism, and contemporary globalization. These stereotypes often simplify complex cultures into broad generalization, which is led to misunderstanding. In historical contexts, the root of cultural stereotypes in Southeast Asia can be traced back to European colonialism during in the 16th and 20th centuries. The colonial powers such as the British and French and Dutch often portray the Southeast Asian countries as exotic, primitive, or backward compared to Western standards. This portrayal served not only to justify the colonial rule but also to create a narrative that positioned the colonizer as the civilizing forces. For example, such as the Muslim minorities, the boogeyman in Christian dominated region, sociocultural and class difference surface as sharply as when Muslims constitute the dominant group of migrant workers in predominant Muslim country. In this context, the commonalities of religion do not bind and ban as usually expected. Particularly in Malaysia has the largest predominantly Muslim, Indonesian, and Bangladeshi workers in Southeast Asia within 1996. Actually, the Western countries view as a migrant worker from Southeast Asia, being viewed primarily as low-skilled laborers, or domestic help. This perception fails to recognize their contribution across various sectors. Let's move on to other topic, the different forms of government in Southeast Asia or Southeast Asia in Southeast Asian country. The first form of government in Southeast Asia, the first one is the presidential system. It's a form of government in which the executive branch exists separately from the legislative branch. So meaning the president is the head of the state and also head of the government as the same person. The key features of presidential system is a separation of powers. In presidential system, there's a clear division between the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of the government. Each branch operates independently, which help to prevent any one of branches from gaining too much power. There's a check and balances. The other branches of government will check the other branch in order to prevent their or abusive power or also overstep their power in order to check. There's a check and balances. For example, no, not this one. The question is how to elect the president or process of election and presidential system through to a direct through the direct election, whereas the candidate for president is typically elected by the public through a direct vote, with the highest vote can govern the country. The president usually serves as fixed terms for 6 years. And the fourth one is the other example of forms of government is the absolute monarchy. Is a form of government where is a single ruler, typically a king or a queen, holds the supreme authority and power over the state. In this form of government, the monarchy's decisions are not constrained by law, constitution, or any governing bodies. In all means, the monarch has the ultimate control the governance administration of justice without interfering from the other entities because because of the absolute power has that vested by the king or queen. No other than or any subject of the king and queen can interfere by their decision because they have the absolute power. For example, in Southeast Asia countries, is the Brunei is one of few remaining absolute monarchies in the world, and the only one in Asia. As absolute monarch, the Sultan of Brunei is the head of the state and head of the government. He is the king, he is the prime minister, the minister of defense, the minister and finance, and so on and so forth. As a monarch, has the authority to make law, control the foreign policy, and dictate without any legal limitation. So if it's absolute monarchy, so meaning to say, the absolute monarchy has the power, no limitation. Unlike the constitutional monarchy, has limitation. This is the last part of the form of government. So, definition of constitutional monarchy is a system of government that is ruled by a king or queen, whose power is limited by its country constitution. Meaning to say, the political power is shared the monarch and constitutional government such as parliament. This type of monarchy is different from the absolute monarchy. Yes, in constitutional monarchy has limited power by the king and queen. So most of constitutional monarchies operates under the parliamentary system, whereas an elected by parliament holds significant power over legislation and governance. The king and queen just a ceremonial rule with political power residing with elected representatives. The example country has constitutional monarchy is Thailand. The king is part of the executive branch along with the prime minister and council of the ministry. This is the 5 topics that I have learned in Southeast Asia. I hope you enjoy watching. Thank you.